Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Just about 54 minutes after 6 o'clock, which a few minutes before 7 o'clock. And we have Inspector Michelle Lewis from the TTPS here this morning to chat with us about how the police responds to, charges that they receive in the charge room, or reports, made in the charge room or in the reception area at the police station. Good morning, Inspector.
Good morning, sir. Thank you once again for having the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service with you in this partnership.
You guys are always welcome, because I feel like we need as much information about the police as we can all better understand how the system works and how we can make full use of it. So this morning, let's get into how, when we go to a police station, I know we have this one-door policy. So
yes, we do.
Everywhere you could go and report anything in any station.
That is correct.
Right. So tell me the process when a report is made in the charge room to following up on that report. What happens when I walk into any police station and I make a report? What happens?
So you walk into any police station in Trinidad and Tobago and you make a report of any nature. The officer in the reception area, or the charge room as it is commonly called, but it is really the reception area.
So why is it called the charge room?
Because that's the name that we know it as.
People just get charged when they come in there?
No, that's the long time name.
Right, okay.
And then it was updated.
Right. So now it's the reception area.
Yes.
Right. So it you don't feel as heavy when you're walking.
Correct. Right. It's more of a warmer space.
Yeah.
So it is the reception area. And so an officer there will take a report, issue you with a receipt, and in that receipt it will also indicate to you who is the investigator.
Right.
It will also have on that receipt who is the senior person on that shift. So take, for example, you call that station again to get a follow-up if you choose to. And if you don't get the investigator, you can ask to speak to the corporal, because the second in command or the first in command will be on that receipt as well. The station number will be on the receipt, the date, the type of report that you would have made, and a serial number on the receipt. So it is easy for us, for our records also, to show that it is in this book that this receipt was issued.
I want to ask, Inspector, why are we still writing down these things in books? Like, in this age of digital technology, like, how come we still using books in the police station?
Well, we use books and then we put it on the data system. We put it in through CAPA. It will eventually go onto the system. And that is through CAPA, the Crime and Problem Analysis section, that we get the data. So we do it record-wise, and because the court still accepts
the paperwork.
So it's still integrating. COVID kind of push it a lot, but we still get in there.
All right.
So the receipt, and
so you get
thereafter, right? And so the receipt is issued to the customer, and the officer puts that report into the station diary, which we normally the report diary. And so whatever is on the receipt, which is basic, but the reference of what is in the diary coincides with the receipt. The officer, of course, will do some forms from the person who's making the receipt, the person who's making the report, which will indicate if there's a suspect, to give a description of the person, and it will also give a description and some details of the person who's actually making the report. And so that information is contained, as you realize, in more than one place, because the person has their copy as proof, and the police has it as well. When that report is made, let's say, for example, the report was made at Marabella Police Station, but the person actually lives in Belmont District. Right, so that the Marabella Police Station now would then call Diego Martin or Belmont or whichever station district and send that report via telephone message.
Okay. So now they have a copy of this in Marabella Station and in Diego Martin Station. So which station do I follow up with? The one that I made the report in, or do I follow up in the one where it's closer to me?
So you're following up in where the station, where the report will actually be investigated, where the incident is alleged to have occurred.
So will they tell me then, for example, using your same example, if I go to Marabella, before I leave, will they tell me, follow up with this in Diego Martin?
Yes, they will.
And which Diego Martin station? Because, they have a couple of them.
In Diego Martin?
Well, they have the one by Diamond Vale, they have the one by Four Roads. All that's still Diego Martin.
So Four Road Station.
Right.
No, so you would have made a report at Marabella Police Station. On that receipt, you would have had the investigator.
Right.
Because that would have been the person who would have taken it initially.
And that's the person from Marabella?
No, that's the officer at the station that you would have made the report.
Right, that's what I mean. So in this example that we're talking about, if I go to Marabella to make the report, I will get the name of the investigator in Marabella.
Right, so the investigator, initially what we do is that you give an initial investigator. In this case, as soon as you come into Marabella station and you make a report, that officer name is on that receipt.
Okay.
The officer who would have taken the report. So we consider him the initial investigator.
Right.
The secondary investigator, who would be the one who would carry out the thorough investigation, would be now at a different station district and division. Now, if it was that report remained there more than likely the same investigating officer who would have taken that initial report, the primary investigator or the initial reporter officer, he would be the one who would be investigating.
Okay.
Now, if it is a SRC or serious report of a crime, then it probably go to CID.
Well, this is now, I was now about to ask if all police officers are allowed to investigate all crime.
Well, all police officers can investigate, but they're trained. But because we have so many sections and specialist sections, the reports are sent to. So if it's a domestic violence, it will go to that section. But you can make it at any police station.
Okay.
Right, to Rwanda policy. So the officer, so the report was made in Marabella. The person goes to Diego Martin.
Right.
The station district in Diego Martin also contact the officer, the person who is making the report, and inform them, okay, we have this report, and they are following up on it.
Right.
Right. On the receipt, the officer at Marabella will also inform the person who is making the report that this report is going to be sent to this station because this is not in our station district. We have taken report and we're going to forward it. So the following up ought to take place in that district.
Okay. So how long is the time frame between that following up? So if I come and make a report this morning, when am I expected to be contacted by the other branch, for example?
All right, so the officer at Marabella would call Diego Martin, using Diego Martin, right, and send that report via telephone message. We also have some documents that normally would follow with it. That would come subsequently.
Right.
But initially, that report would have gone via telephone message, which would indicate the name of the person, the contact number, and all that kind of thing. The station district also contact the person in a relatively short period of time. I don't want to say...
What is relatively short? 2 days? A week?
Right, so let us say the officer, the shift work 24, 48, you should get a call within a day, within the same day. If it is that, for example, the person called, you know, and let us say, because I am a police officer and I'm not making excuses, I know from time to time reports come in and the station is so heavy that you might have a murder that just took place and this take place. And
so you set priorities.
And because they're outside so long, it kind of, so not, you know, holding the police the lecture.
I know, and this is part of why I was asking about digital technology, right? Because I'm wondering if in certain circumstances we can't use technology to be able to mitigate some of this, so that instead of you having to call and say where the whole message is by a phone, why not send an email so you have all the information that way, you know, and it can be an automatic email as soon as we type up the information one time.
Right, so we do have the we have the computer systems, and we do have where it is forwarded.
Okay.
But the quicker means really is through the telephone.
I hear you.
We actually speak to the officer, and you know for sure that the officer on the other end heard it, receive it. As opposed to when somebody goes and check on the system to ensure that that is done. So with that report having been made, there will be a follow-up in relation to the report. We know that from time to time we have some challenges with customer service, the police service. We continue to train persons, ensuring that we get that level of professionalism up and that trust and confidence is rebuilt within the organization and the members of the public.
Have you seen an improvement in it since you have been doing the training? An improvement in the stories of customer relations?
But you know, I am on the inside. I am on the inside, and I would say yes.
Yes.
Of course, you on the outside would have to let me
Well,
know.
I think everybody will have different experiences. So I think that some officers would have taken the training and would have applied it as they go along. But some people are oftentimes, unfortunately, stuck in their ways.
But, and we do see that, and from time to time, the supervisors would send them back for retraining.
Right.
Because, you know, sometimes it takes more than one training to get that level of professionalism that we want to see. And so we encourage, you know, both good and bad criticism, or constructive criticism, so that when persons do see that, let us know so that we can better the situation.
Who do we let know? Do we just go straight to the Police Complaints Authority? How do we report?
Right, so I wouldn't call it well, it depends on the level of service that you get, right? So you can, some stations have the suggestion boxes where you can just simply put a note and drop it in the box, and it is cleared ever so often. You can speak to the SDO in charge, you can send an email to the TTPS and let us know.
What's the email address?
ttps.gov.tt.
ttps.gov.tt. We have no at in there?
TTPS
at what?
Let me get that.
Yeah, I'm saying we need an at inside there for the email address to work properly.
Right, so you caught me, so I would get that for you.
No problem. And so we'll work on that and get that. I mean, you hopefully will be joining us again next Monday anyway, right?
So we want to encourage members of the public, when you are making your report, ensure that you have your receipt, ensure that you get your receipt, and
keep it safe.
and keep it safe, and then there's follow-up. Because we really want to improve the delivery of service that we give to the customers. And so when there is something that we are falling short on, please let us know so that the executive and other middle managers in the organization can rectify the problem. That is the real purpose behind it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that everybody who's locked on can take that information and do the best with it, because following up is key to being able to make sure that we can hold everybody accountable and we can get the best results. I want to thank you very much, Inspector, for joining us again.
Thanks again for having us.
Not a problem. We look forward to seeing you next week again, God's willing.
God's willing. Thank you.
All right. We're on the Now Morning Show. Inspector Michelle Lewis from the TTPS just letting us know the process by which we make reports and what happens after we make the reports, and how you can do your part to follow up and make sure that you keep the TTPS on their toes and working and function in the way that they ought to. Yeah? We'll take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.